Hey guys, Matt Uruguay here, and welcome to the table. Today, I'm joined by a very special guest, Matt McQueen, for the first ever Wafflecast. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. I'm just excited to get into the eatery for this week.
Oh, mate, me too. So, you'll notice, for the viewers, the screen's just a still image. This is a podcast format, so feel free to go to a different tab or look away while we get into the eatery. I guess we should start with the biggest, most important thing, the thing everyone wants to hear about. Who's in the running for the King Known Eater this year so far, you reckon?
Well, let's just head to some honorable mentions for now
Mm.
before we get into, the real big dogs who we believe are in the race.
Yeah.
First off, Ryan Platterson. Only a two-game sample size since, he was coming off a suspension early in the year, which was such a shame. None of us could have him in our starting teams. But on the edge, obviously he was playing a little bit of middle, I believe, in both games. 62.5 carbs
Fuck,
in
boy.
2 games. Fucking mental.
That is
Absolutely
ridiculous.
mental. But, as we know, this week the Eels have changed their rotation in the middle. He's now moved to lock. Hopgood has moved to the bench. We're not too sure what is in store for Ryan Platterson heading on from here.
Yeah, it's a tough one, and that's why we put him in honourable mentions for the two-game sample size and that role not being certain, you know. But fuck me, you're doing 62.5 carbs when the majority of the game's on the edge. Ridiculous. And
That's ridiculous. Yeah.
and the thing about Ryan Platterson is when you watch those games and you look at the fantasy stats, he's actually eating more on the edge than when he moves into the middle. His consumption goes down when he goes in the middle, which is just
It's like no other.
it's
It's
crazy.
ridiculous.
Next honorable mention. Now this one hurts me, but fuck me. Joey Tarpane, fair play. He's doing 52 carbs, which obviously isn't that impressive, but what the fuck? He has a 1.06 CPM. Like, that is just unheard of. It's unheard of. And
Ridiculous.
last year, he had a really good CPM, right? A point 0.8, 0.89. If I remember correctly, Ruben Cotter was like a 0.87 CPM. But to do 1.06,
I believe that's higher than his PPM from last year, isn't it? Or very close to it. Like, it's
oh, mate,
insane.
his PPM last year was like a 1.10. His CPM is 1.06 this year.
He's almost matching it. That's ridiculous, Joey Tarpane.
Like, look, I'm not. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. I think the stats guys are doing some stats lying.
Oh,
But
oh, some
look.
sabotagery.
Even if it was fair, he'd probably still be over a 1 CPM or about that. So I've just got
I
to take
mean,
my hat off to him. Fair play.
look, all I'm gonna say is round 9 pickup, round 9 pickup.
Oh, mate, if you don't have Joe Tarpane in round 9, what are you doing?
You're a
What are
fucking
you doing?
idiot. Idiot.
You can talk about the next guy.
Oh, well, okay. Now that we've moved on from Joey Tarpane, another man who was, I guess eluding us early on before we then picked him up and got burnt. Tofu Harris.
Hmm.
In those 3 games, if you take out that last game that he played, where he only played half the game, got injured, so
Hmm.
we don't really want to put that in his average. 65 carbs.
Fuck off.
Are you fucking kidding? Tofu! Like, oh, this is exactly why the majority of us held him, because if he can get back to this and he plays round 13, you're laughing. You're laughing. Absolutely laughing. Like, and look, if he doesn't somehow reach these heights again, which he will, he's Tofu Harris, he's still going to be hitting insane numbers and you're going to want him. Like, all those who sold him, look, yes, you may have benefited in the short term, but in the long term, you're going to be real, and that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I agree with you there. The one thing is, do we have another Payne Haas situation? Like last year, of
What
what we
possibly,
think is a
possibly.
short term injury, and we say hold, he's a gun, but then it plagues him and his consumption goes down. I don't want it to happen as a tofu owner myself, but it's concerning. He's actually in a loop for me this week.
Oh, all right.
So, but even in that game that he actually got injured, he actually did 32 carbs in 44 minutes. So that's not bad itself.
Pretty good signs, I'd say.
Definitely below. That's actually below his CPM. But fuck me, we're still talking about like he was going to do high 50s, 60s carbs in that game. So yeah, he's definitely one to keep an eye on for King Nona.
100%, 100%.
And then we've got Jaden Brayley. Not really in the running for King Nonery unless there's a big decline to a lot of the others. But I just want to acknowledge his eatery. He's doing 57 carbs when you take out that head knock game. That's
pretty wild.
57 carbs. Like, what more do you want? Now,
I've really asked for much more.
he is one of those players who, to be fair, he hasn't got many attacking stats this year, but he's actually doing more carbs than his point average. Exactly what Tohu actually did last season. And so you'd hope that those the protein and dessert maybe can start coming into his diet, and who knows what he could average this season? Maybe he's a mid to high 50s.
Well, to be fair, look, even if there's, to be no dessert added to his diet, look, if he's able to produce those sorts of numbers, you'll take that to the bank every week as a backup hooker. Like, you're not complaining for 1 second. But I'm telling you, like, if the Knights actually end up being a decent-ish team, not good, but like, maybe just hovering outside the 8, he might snag a few bits and pieces of dessert here and there. You never know.
Yeah, look, dessert is not in his base like it is for some people. Looking at you, Wade Egan. But one thing I would say we have to be a little bit concerned about is in 2021, Brayley actually kind of started similar, just fucking eating, It seemed like every game was over 50 tackles. But then he kind of fell off towards back in the season. So that's something I think you could keep an eye on. He's certainly still a pickup if you're looking at him this round or next round. But if those tackle numbers do start declining, you might look to trade him out because he's done it before. They aren't necessarily going to go back up.
Yeah, it could be a sign of fatigue. You might want to just trade him out, get in, that second gun hooker after he's done a job for you. You might be sitting there with a Sir Harry right now, loving life. You might want to pair him up with someone like a Reece Robson after Origin's over. You never know.
Who just happens to be the first guy that we're actually going to be talking about for proper in the race for King Nonery. You want to talk about him?
So if you're looking to trade out Brayley towards the end of the year, if he starts to fatigue, look, the last person on our list for who's in the running to become the illustrious King Known Eater, it's Reece Bus Robson, averaging 55.8 carbs a game. Incredible numbers from Reece. Look, he loves a bit of dessert here and there. I will say he loves his attacking stats. He has those lower scores in him, but he could be that sort of guy who can win you head to head, and he'll probably average better than someone like Brayley this year anyway. So definitely someone you could move on to after the Origin period. I'd say.
The Cowboys being a little bit down this year. They might come back up. But does that benefit him or does that hurt him, you reckon? Because obviously, normally teams that do worse, their middles and hookers, their carbs are actually a little bit higher. But obviously, the attacking stats just aren't there. And so, it's funny. You see 3 games in the scoring, 74, 74, 73, but then you see a 42 and a 46, and it makes you think, what is he actually going to average, when the Cowboys, are a little bit more consistent,
It is hard to get a read on him, that is for certain.
The thing that definitely that helps us this year is guns don't seem to be moving much in price at all. You got people
really
averaging, 67 like a Payne Haas, and they've moved a couple to, tens of Ks, but
like 40K or so.
It's not what we projected them to move up. Sir Harry, who we will get to obviously, he's averaging 10 above what we thought his price was, and so he should be up 80K at least, but he just hasn't moved that much. And so I think with guns this year, you're really going to benefit from just waiting and making sure that they're actually a good pickup, because they're not going to shoot up in price.
Unless you're Nico Hines.
Yeah.
Good focus all over.
That is fair. That is fair. Next on the King Known list, we weren't expecting this, and we'll talk about him a little bit more later. But Joshy King.
What an effort.
Fuck me. Not only has he just leveled up his consumption. He's also just become a better player this year.
Who could have seen this coming?
It's funny because you had at the start of last season everyone in the media talking, oh, the Storm, they always take these guys. He's going to become a fucking Origin player, and obviously he didn't. He was still a solid player for the Storm, but this year he's really turned it on. He's become a quality player. He's doing 70 minutes a game, averaging 61.4. But the thing that we're here for is 56.9 carbs.
Incredible. Look, you'd have to think those minutes come down, but if they don't, fuck me, Josh King, very cheeky option.
Yeah, when you have Nelson and Sims returning,
They have to come down.
I think they have to
come down.
And if you were to have something like a I don't want to say it, but a Howarth coming into the back row and pushing Luero to the bench, you'd think Luero would probably play more minutes than like a Alec McDonald on the bench or a Brunson Garlick, and so
Have to imagine so, yeah.
if there's anyone whose minutes are going to be eaten into, it's probably Josh King. I don't see Welch coming down from a 50. Nelson's going to play that 45, 50 every week. If Sims could be a 40-minute player, and that's really going to hurt Josh King.
Yeah, I don't see a world in which Josh King can keep it up. But look, we have to give him credit for what he's done. Like, it's incredible.
Yeah.
But to the man of the moment, we swiftly move on. Jermaine Course Hopgood. Look, he's in the headlines this week. He's been moved to the bench, but do not panic. He's averaging 58.14 carbs this season in his time on the park.
Fuck me.
Incredible stuff. Like, yes, he may have been moved to the bench, but there's no Barlow. There's no one like that who's going to be playing a big minute role except RCG and Matto. Look, Wiramu Grieg, he's going to play like 20 minutes. It's fine. Everyone else on the bench, look, he's going to be fine. He will play minimum 55 minutes, even off the bench. There could be a late shift as well, before game day. You never know. Everyone jump and ship. Look, I think you're stupid. That's all I'm going to say. I think you're stupid. Edge mid duel. Look, if he doesn't play Origin, he's going to be playing all those 3 major buy rounds. You guys, look, I'm telling you, hold him. He's in the race for the King No Eater. Just hold a bloke like that, please.
Yeah, I completely agree. We don't like spilled food over at Matt.
No.
He does spill a lot of food, but fuck
It makes me sad.
When you're doing that many carbs and that
It
much
doesn't fucking matter.
protein, yeah, it doesn't matter at all. 2.8 offloads. Like,
Delightful.
Has he married Tavita the Eater? Has he learnt from Tavita the Eater or something? What's happened there?
He must have. They must have linked up in the off season.
Look, we're going to talk about captaincy options later. I don't think Jermaine Course is a captaincy option just because of how inconsistent he is.
Yes, no, I wouldn't trust it.
I think a lot of us, myself included, got fucked over in that round 3 when we saw that.
Yeah, we all got burnt.
He's averaging like 75 minutes. He's basically an 80-minute lock. He's doing 80. Captain the bloke, gets injured, but also just has a worse game in general and does a 35. And then we all get off him the next week for like Cleary, and he does a fucking 70.
It was rough times over at Matt. We'll tell you that.
So yeah, hold. I'm still a big believer that come game day, we're gonna see Jermaine Hopgood starting lock and Ryan Madison starting back row.
Look, you'd hope so. You'd hope so for fantasy's sake. But look, I think what is more likely of a change is that, unfortunately, Madison. Look, we have dreams of Madison becoming that gun second rower for us in fantasy, but I think more than likely they might just shift Matto and Hopgood starts. Matto to the bench playing that impact role. But look, you never know. I mean, Jermaine Course could play that impact role just as well as Madison did last year, but we'll have to wait and see for that one.
Yeah, the concerning factor is Brad Arthur. From a footage perspective, like, you've got this young, up-and-coming lock forward who's been incredible for you throughout the first part of the season. And instead of keeping him there and having a Lane-Madison combination in the back row, which is that the best back row combination in the comp,
It's fucking lethal.
Instead of having that, you go, no, I'm going to play Bryce Cartwright, 28 years old, in the back row. It's Doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, look, the logic there like makes sense to us, but what the fuck do we know about footy?
Fair enough. Fair enough. Next on the list, we actually predicted this guy to have a bit of a downfall, and he has, respectively, but he's still playing the 80, and that's kept his carbs up. It's Beach Sprint, Damien
Oh,
Cook.
he's still putting up a fight. He is still putting up a fight. I'll tell you that.
Like me,
Look,
58.4 units of carbs. That is.
it's just look. Everyone writes him off every year, but he keeps putting his name, into the hat. Like you can't stop talking about him. Like with his work rate, his scores. Like
When
what
is he
can you
gonna
say?
when is he gonna slow down? He's 31. He's turning
I don't
32
think
during the middle of the season.
he's a beach sprinter. I don't think he's ever going to slow down. Fuck. Like, what do you expect from the bloke? I think he's only going to get quicker. For being honest.
Fuck. I mean, you look at his tackles this year. His lowest tackle count was 42. His lowest run meters is 50.
Word.
He's sprinting constantly, at 90 meters a game. He's tackling
All
his
around the
ass
park.
off. 49 tackles. It's incredible. Obviously, if you started with him, like we said, don't start with him. He has lost a lot of cash. He's come down to 860 from his starting 945k. But if you know what the issue for Beach Sprint is? You can't pick him up during Origin or even in the next couple of weeks because he plays Origin, and
Yeah, it's a sad time for beach sprint fans.
he's not the best late round pick as well because he has that bye in the head-to-head grand final, and so
No, that's huge.
it's one of those ones where I think we aren't going to be able to get on the train fantasy-wise, but we're just going to respect that eatery from afar.
Oh yeah, we can be there in spirit.
Yeah.
Alrighty, and I think, look, to round out the top three, after talking about all these beautiful, beautiful leaders on this list, we have to move the Penny Panthers 80-minute lock. I say, incredible. Look, he's just Mr. Consistent, isn't he? Uruguay, like 60.5 carbs, incredible. Like he does it week in, week out. Like, does he ever have a low game? Not really. Like, if he gets some attacking sets as well, fuck me, he'll be scoring fucking 80s left, right, and center soon. But look, I don't think he's quite on the level of the next two. But what are your thoughts?
Look, when you think about those 80-minute forwards, normally they're smaller, and at the end of the day, their lungs, are working less hard, moving less weight around. Isaiah Yeo is what? Fucking 6'4", 6'5"? He'd be 105,
The
110
giant.
kilograms. To play 80 minutes every week is just incredible, and I think honestly, that work rate gets underappreciated. Everyone focuses on the ball playing ability, which is obviously great in his own right, but the fitness and the consumption is what I think is just incredible.
Well, you have to respect it. And look, unlike the next man on our list, look, Ivan Cleary, he doesn't know what a fucking like restricted like game day management is for Isaiah Yeo. He's just constantly 80 minutes. Like, does he ever get a spell unless they're like pumping someone? No, never.
And
Doesn't need to.
I think what's really helped Yo, to be honest, is the departure of Coruscant because I
Yeah.
think Panthers are a little bit less lethal of an attacking team this year, and so
Although we've just seen them pump the Raiders, but
obviously, but the thing is, obviously in the past couple of years, their strength has really been winning that arm wrestle, but I think they've just even gone to that strength more. They're really trying to win the arm wrestle in every single game. His lowest carbs this year is 57.
Yeah, look, he doesn't deviate much from his average, really, does he?
Like, when your floor of carbohydrate consumption is 57 throughout 4 games, you're eating. You're eating.
You're taking the piss. You'll take that every day of the week.
So, fuck me. Isaiah Yeo, again, can't really pick him up because of Origin, but tell you what, round 20 onwards, Panthers have no buys.
Oh, I think that's the easiest pickup I'll ever have to do.
Yep. So, we got the next guy on our list. It was actually the king known last year. It's Cameron McQueen Murray. Fuck me. Now,
He's our boy, isn't he? Like, what can you not say about Cameron McQueen?
mate, look, a lot of people were writing him off. They were like, "Fuck, he's averaging like 58 to those first 4 games. What's happened to McQueen? What's happened to Murray?" And then he says, "Fuck
wrong.
you, fuck you, 87 and 72."
Fuck you for doubting me. This was always in me.
The thing
You should have
was,
known.
the carb consumption was actually there. It was always there. It never went
Oh
away.
yeah. No.
In fact, his carbs against the Storm in round 5 was actually below his average carbs. So what was actually missing was the protein, right? And so that's why I was never concerned about Murray. You know that protein is eventually going to come. He's such a gun player in a pretty good team. Protein is going to come.
And then it came.
To see that carb consumption stay, that's what I was really intrigued to start the season with, because the thing that I was kind of predicting was, does he maybe fall away just because, can you really flog a guy like him 80 minutes every single week? But I guess the Rabbitohs have said, yep, we can. He's averaging 72 minutes. And he's only going to go up, isn't he?
Yeah, look. Cameron McQueen Murray. There's not much else you can say about him. King known last year. Still in the running for it this year.
60.6 carbs. That's incredible.
Look, and he's doing it in less minutes than Isaiah Yeo. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
And look, although it may not seem like it this year so far, but I do believe McQueen has a bit more upside in that protein aspect than Yeo gets.
Oh, 100%.
But yeah.
I think we haven't really seen much of that McQueen burst through the line past to, Latrell in support or Beach Sprint in support.
Yeah, not until that last game. Yeah.
That's his bread and butter. The offload's been a little bit down, I think, this year. Just all the protein has been a bit down. His carb consumption, look, the season's a long season. His carb consumption will probably come down from that 60.6 that he's averaging now. But even if it comes down to his 55 of last year, his protein's going to go up, and he's going to be just another 65, mid to high 60s average.
Yeah. I don't see a world in which he averages less than 60, like some people may have been worried about. But to be fair to him, I think the majority of people on this list, their consumption rate has to come down with fatigue and, just niggles becoming a thing, later on the season. Like,
I definitely think that who ends up being in the King known this year, a big thing is going to be how they managed through the Origin period.
Oh, 100%.
If you see a Murray playing 40 minutes in those games where he's backing up from Origin,
could hurt him.
That could hurt him. If you see a Isaiah Yeo doing the same, it's just going to depend how those teams manage those players, I think. And also towards the back end of the year, can they sustain this eatery just for 27 games?
Look, and I think leading on from that, one man who could do the job is the young up-and-coming eater. It's Sir Harry. Look, he may have been, behind closed doors, myself and Matt Uguay shout for King known this year, and he's doing us proud 61.14 carbs. Are you taking the piss, sir? Oh, shit. Look. We all thought it was possible, but now that we've seen it in action, it brings a tear to the eye, doesn't it?
What did I say? What did I say in that gun hooker video? Watch him average 70 through that first period. Watch him average 70, and he's averaging 69.6. It's incredible.
Incredible. Really. Oh yeah, just take a bow. Look.
The interesting thing is though, right? So I was predicting Sir Harry to do about 56 in carbs. But still had to average that 70. Now, obviously, he's doing 61 in carbs, so his protein has actually been a little bit down. You look at last year, his try rate's a little bit down. His line breaks are a little bit down. There's room for improvement on the 70 average, and that's insane to me.
And look, although his carbs may have to come down, if his protein can, find its way back into his game, he could genuinely average high 60s for the whole year. It's mental.
Oh, mate, look, I was predicting a 65 average for the year. I think he's a 68, 67 average.
He could be up there with the likes of Nathaniel St. Cleary and Nico Hines. He won't be quite reaching those levels, but he'll be close. He'll be close.
And the scary thing is, right, he hasn't even run that much. You know, the first game that I was really like, oh, Sir Harry's on here. You know, really just running, darting out of dummy half. It was last round against the Rabbitohs, and he ran for 107 meters. And as the Storm get those players back, you know, Hughes is back this week. Nelson's going to be back around that round 10. As the Storm get these players back, they're just going to build a platform for Sir Harry to run even harder, even more.
It's going to be scrumptious.
What will be interesting to see is how much does that tackle count decline, right? Because he's averaging 49.6 tackles right now. I don't think that's sustainable. You know, I don't think anyone thinks that's sustainable. But if that tackle count comes down to 45, but his run meters increase up to 100, we're still talking about
really.
We're still talking about 55 in that kind of carbs. And you might be like, oh, 55, is that even king no this year? You're forgetting about his kick meters. That is what carries Sir Harry's consumption, isn't it?
It's the silent killer that no one realizes is there. He gets about what? I think it's like
120 kick meters a game.
120 kick meters per game. Like the fact that he's added that into his diet, it's delightful.
I remember telling people he's gonna do over 100 kick meters a game this year, and people were like, no, he did 70 last year. It's not happening. You have to understand, right? Firstly, this is a hot take that I heard actually Rugby League Guru say on the podcast with Bloke in a Bar this week. I think Sir Harry will go down as the second best hooker of all time when he retires.
Ooh.
Right.
Look, I'm a big fan of Sir Harry, so I might have to agree there, to be honest with you.
Who is he learning from? He's learning from Cameron Smith, right?
Learning from the GOAT himself.
He was the master of the dummy half kick. You know, especially later in his career where his body was getting a bit slower. He just used that kick to control the game. And what we have with Sir Harry is a 25-year-old whose body's, you know, he's in his prime physically, and so he's going to be running, tackling like just a fucking maniac. But he's learning that art of controlling the game like a 30-year-old experienced
at such a young age. Yeah.
At such a young age. It's scary. It is scary. And you
Like-
want to know what's incredible to me?
Go on.
This is just with the Whiten news this week of apparently getting a 1.1 million deal. Sir Harry's on 1 million for the next 2 years of his contract. Like, what is
this man going to be
market?
demanding?
Yeah. What could he demand, do you reckon? If he was to go on the open market today, what could he demand?
Well, I mean, to be fair, like people always talk about how there's a shortage of genuine halves. I think there's also just a shortage of genuine nines out there too, as well. Like he could easily demand like the sorts of numbers that, you know, the top tier halves are. Maybe not as high, but close to it for sure.
You know what? I actually think he could demand more than them, because the thing is, right, to have a good nine. The nine allows your halves to really to perform. Like the way I look at it, right? If you were to throw Cleary into the Tigers, obviously the Tigers would be better than the shithouse they are right now. But I think if you
would they though? Like
the Tigers.
I mean, I know it's Nathaniel Cleary, but I don't think anyone could save the Tigers.
Yeah, that is fair.
God.
That is fair. But especially with the new CBA, I think Ponga's on 1.4 million. I think Harry Grant could demand a 1.6. Genuinely. Like,
look, if the fish come knocking, and they're like, you know, well, I know they've re-signed Jeremy Marshall-King, but if they're not too keen on him, if that were to happen,
there's Sir Harry, and then the next class of hooker is probably, you know, Robson and Beach Sprint. Robson's young, obviously, as well, but Beach Sprint's 31.
Time's almost up, unfortunately. The days of sprinting all around the field.
Obviously, we do have some young hookers coming through. Obviously, the Broncos have Blake Moser, but is the hooker shortage even? Is it actually going to improve? You know, I don't see that many young hookers coming through the grades that are like very very highly touted. It's really only Blake Moser.
Yeah, that's really the only ones we're getting words of at the moment.
Whereas, you know, there's always up-and-coming halves coming through the grade. I mean, Izzy Katoa's, you know, going great this year, and he's 18. And so I think the half shortage, although bad, you know, Moses re-signing for whatever the hell he did, hookers are in shortage, and Sir Harry's just going to keep dominating. If you don't have Sir Harry, I've seen some people asking me, should I be trading him in? The rough thing is, with that round 9 bye and then Origin, that's a lot of outs. You know?
Yeah, especially for a guy who's like up there at 900k, close to it. Like,
if you want
yeah,
to get on Sir Harry, which what a player to watch and have in your fantasy team. It's so fun to own him. But I think you're looking at that round 20, just late game, end game, once Origin's all done and dusted.
yeah, I think I'd have to agree if you don't have him. And look, if you don't have him, hopefully you have something like a Reese's plus Robson. If not, I'm praying for your fantasy team.
Definitely. So that basically wraps up the King Known topic. I want to get into this next one, which is just equally as fun. The unexpected eatery that we've seen this year.
Oh, boy, it's been a joy to watch, hasn't it?
We talked about him in the King Known conversation, but Josh King, like,
Like, where the hell did he come from, right?
genuinely.
Fuck.
So we already talked, 56.9 carbs. The interesting thing, right? Here's the thing. He was a big minute player last year, and normally when you look for improvement in fantasy, you're looking for an increase in minutes, right? You're not really looking for an increase
Or
in...
a change in role.
Or a change in role. You're not really looking for an increase in CPM or PPM. But he actually has increased from a 0.66 ppm to a 0.88 ppm. And a lot of that has actually come from his increased CPM of 0.716 last season to 0.81 now. 0.81's really good for a big minute lock. I don't know what's changed. Those thighs have only gotten thicker though. They've only
Oh yeah, like let me tell you something. If we're ranking these men amongst their thigh circumference, oh, he's up there. He's up there. I don't think anyone's taking out that crown anytime
It's
soon.
incredible. It's incredible. Now, like we already talked about, Nelson Sims, maybe Trent Luero to the bench. Being a decent middle. His minutes are probably going to come down, but at the end of the day, we still have to respect that eatery. He has made 200k. If you started with Josh King,
Taking the
incredible.
piss if you started with him. And like, look, I respect you. I don't know how you called it, but you did.
Look, we've seen. Yeah, I've also had people talking. Is he a keeper? Should I be looking pick him up? No, just don't.
Don't pick him up. Don't do it.
The only time to pick him up was probably round 2.
Yeah,
but then it's
after
a bit
seeing his output round 1, yeah,
it's
but
bit
that was still a
chasing
risky
points.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fair play to Josh King owners. Fair play to Josh King. Keep eating, mate. That's all I have to say on Josh King.
Look, if we thought Josh King was a notable mention, talk about fucking fins up, baby. Fins fever.
Fins
Tom
up.
Gilbert here. Tom Gilbert. Look, there was talk about him being a potential option this year. Mid-edge could make some cash, but we didn't expect anything of the sort like this. 52.4 carbs in this time of the park.
Fuck.
Big minutes as well. Like, well, you can't really ask for much more, can you?
He actually hasn't made that much cash. As a fantasy buy, he hasn't worked out to be the best.
No.
But the eatery, it's been
You got to respect it.
I think,
look, he reminds me of, that Jai Arrow move that some people made last year. Like, he's just done a solid job, made a little bit of cash. And the fact that he's made a little bit, you might be able to, like, do something with that. Like, flick him up and then someone could go down. Like, it might have just been enough to help you out in the long run. Although, not quite what you would have wanted.
There are definitely options at that 600k price. We already talked about Brayley. Teddy's probably going to be coming down to that low 600 soon. If you're a Gilbert owner, maybe you look to move him on to one of those options.
I would definitely have to agree. But look, not now. Definitely, I'd be holding him for now. Finns, I do believe they play around 13 buys. So if he can continue just doing his thing, mid-edge duel, you'd hope to keep him. But, if you do have to move him on, there's definitely options there available.
Yeah, so Finns will play round 13. They don't play round 16, so maybe you look to move them on after that round 13 buy. But then the only problem is those underpriced guns, Tedesco, Brayley, are probably going to be back up at price. So one to think about,
Quite
definitely,
possibly.
if you're a Tom
Sweat to
Gilbert
move
owner.
on from him, really. He probably won't be a keeper, so look, yeah.
Well, 47.
There's not much else.
47.6 average. Yeah, I don't think it'll be a keeper. This bloke as well. Even when you look through the cash rises on fantasy, go into the stats center, This guy still goes under the radar. Leo Thompson. Where has this come from?
What an effort he's made, eh?
It's incredible. He started at 371k. You know, the same price as so many people that, you know, like the CNKs, the Hammers, the Jay Cabrillo before obviously Perham got the fullback spot, you know, in preseason. You know, this really common price point. No one talked about him. And lo and behold, he's up at 550k, made 180k, still got a low break even. He's only going to keep going up.
Yeah, especially with the news of Saifidi being suspended.
Oh.
You know, a lot of the Knights forwards just fucking down and out. Like, yeah, if you're a Leo Thompson owner, there's only good times ahead.
You know, his CPM, he actually had a good CPM last year, 0.85. That's good. Like, interchange typically can have a higher CPM because they're doing a short burst of a eatery. But at 0.85 is still good for an interchange. But that's gone up to 0.9, and 4 of his 5 games have been starting. That's really, really solid. You'd love to see that kind of eatery. And
I think the main reason, like, why most people probably didn't have him on the radar is because, look, correct me if I'm wrong, but he did start off the bench round 1, yes?
Yeah, he did.
Look, even though, like, he still was most likely going to play some decent minutes off the bench, look, I can see why he's flown under the radar, but if you're someone who somehow jumped on him after seeing his performance in round 1, fair dues.
Definitely. You know, the 48.8 average in 52 minutes. I don't think you can hop on now. He won't be a keeper.
Nah.
He's not going to make much more cash. He'll
The
make
boat
some
has sailed.
cash. But just fair play. Respect the eatery.
You have to. But we got to shout them out when they're putting out these sorts of numbers. Like, I think it's our job, really.
Yeah. We respect eatery.
We're obliged.
Now, the next topic that we're going to talk about is going to be a bit divisive. Especially if you own some of these players that these guys like to help out. These fucking stats guys.
Oh, tell me about it, please.
Fuck me. How often are you watching a game and you're like, oh, that player's me doing that well? You check the fucking NRL.com. What the fuck? How is he? No, he hasn't. You know, so often these stats guys are going to turn a 10-meter run into a 15-meter run for like a Joey Tarpanay or someone like that.
Oh, constantly.
You know, and people are going to say, no, you're talking shit. You're just fucking salty. I got some stats for you. I got some stats for the stats guys. The Hammer.
Oh, best believe we do.
The Hammer is averaging 5.6 kick defusals. Right? And you might think, oh, I guess, yeah, you know, catches under pressure 5. Yeah, that's not that crazy. Let me give you some comparisons right now. Miller has done 3. Dylan Edwards, 2.8. Trebojevic, 2.8. Walsh, 1.5. Trell Mitt, 1.8. Meany, 2.6. Tedesco, 1. Gutho, 2.6. Brimson, 2.3. The highest kick defusals in that list is Miller at 3. And the Hammer's
Talk about sabotage,
2.6 more. That is
silent killer, isn't it? Like,
it really is. You know, because you can't look. The stats guys, they know they can't just be like, oh, try assist. They can't do that.
No.
They just, I'm telling you, they love to add that extra 2 meters onto that run. They love to, oh yeah, that was a kick defusal. That extra tackle break when someone just slightly slips off. That's how they really manipulate the scores.
Those sorts of like additional boosts could skew the score from anywhere between like 4 to 8 points, I reckon. Like it's genuinely ridiculous. Like, because like if someone like Hammer's making like 18, 20 runs a game, and some of those 10s turn into 15s, look like, then you got, you know, some of those kick defusals that aren't meant to be, you know, kick defusals turning into kick defusals. Like, genuinely, I don't think it's a far stretch to say it's adding on couple of points that, you know, most people shouldn't have been expecting.
Oh look, mate, I'm gonna accept the Hammer turned out to be a good buy, even if the stats guys weren't adding the kick defusals, those extra run meters.
Oh yeah,
fair enough, right? He's made, I think, 160k. You know, he still has more money to make probably. And he's in the centers. He's averaging 45.4 in the centers. Fair
like
play.
that every day of the week.
Started with him, but it's tough as a non-owner, isn't it, to just
Oh,
see that stats guy's bullshit. You know,
every time he goes over for a try,
it'd be way
it
easier
just
for me to accept that, his average if those kick defusals were brought down to, the 3 back to the pack, and 20 meters maybe per game was taken away. You do that, and he's sitting at a low 40s, like that 41 average, and that still hurts. Goodbye, but
yeah.
it's not 45. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, look, it's a bit more like, reasonable. I'd imagine. Like if I saw Hammer averaging that like low 40, even though we predicted him much less, it would have been like, okay, yeah. Look, Dolphins have been on a bit of a run. I think most lenders got. Look, I'm just gonna say this. Most people might hate me for it, but I think you got a little bit lucky with the run that they've gone on. Like immediately, he's just been scoring left, right, and center. Like, look, without all that, it could have been a rough time for Hammer owners.
Oh, look, mate. Fantasy, there is a lot of skill and analysis that goes into it, but you do need luck. You do need
Oh
luck.
yeah, of course you do. Yeah.
And yeah, fair play. They hit the nail on the head. And I wonder if this is kind of a lesson for next year. When you got these guys who, everyone's like a lot of the people in the community are expecting to go well for fantasy,
And they're excited to have in their team, yeah.
and they're highly owned. Do you just say, hey, this screams stats guys player to me, and go for it? Because the other probably biggest stats guys player, in my opinion, this season, has been Joey Tarpanay. And it was it was really easy to get excited about him. You think, oh, Ricky's going to play in good minutes this year. You sort
Wrong.
his last year's stats by over 50 minutes, 63.4 and 57.6 minutes, right? Which is really, really good, fair play. And so it just kind of screams like, the stats guys are going to be on this guy. They're going to be on this guy. And his PPM has fucking improved from last year. Like, I thought that 1.10 last year was sure it comes down.
Like, it had to have been its ceiling, but clearly not.
He's up to 1.12. Like, fuck.
Like, is he going to be fucking pushing 1.15 next year? Like, Jesus.
It's just
slow down.
It really is fair play. But the biggest thing is that CPM. Like, what the fuck? 1.06 CPM. And
we've never seen anything like it.
The concerning thing as a non-owner is if this CPM keeps up and he gets the protein back that he's missing,
and his minutes increase to what he should really be playing if he wasn't being cucked every week by Ricky. Like it's a scary thought. It's a very scary thought.
I think we all need to get on him in round 9. Just because,
you just have to.
Look, you know what? If he doesn't do what we think he can do, if he doesn't get the bigger minutes, if he doesn't bring back the protein, he's still a fucking mid-50s non-origin gun, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, there's literally no downside in picking him up. There's only upside. Like, he's doing like the bare minimum of what you'd expect him to do, I think. Like right now with those sorts of minutes, like he's not going to lose any value from where he's at. Like, you're just hoping he kind of like, trots along for the next couple of weeks till round 9, getting some solid scores, and then happy days. You're laughing at the bank once you pick him up in round 9.
Yeah, I mean, last year, not sorting by minutes, right? Just straight up what he did last year. 3 tackle breaks, 1.8 offloads. He's only doing 1.4 tackle breaks and 1 offload. Like,
yeah,
out of that, and he's at a high 50s average in 50 minutes. It's incredible. Fair play to him.
It's scary to think what he could do if he was playing like Payne Haas like minutes. Oh, but we all know how it is down in the old capital with Ricky. You just don't trust. Look, you don't trust any Raiders forwards. The only one that I can stomach to pick up would be Joey Tarpanay. Everyone else, no.
Agreed.
Like, look, people talk about Hudson Young. No, don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. He will help you out one week and then kill you the next. And he'll score. Look, he'll be a decent average, but just don't do it to yourself. If he gets cheap enough where he's got value, sure, I don't mind it. But if you're picking him up as a gun, like a safe 50 average, no, you just know what you're getting in for.
Look, with Tarpanay, you look at their schedule. It's Broncos, Dragons, and the bye. Honestly, I don't expect that good of a score against the Dragons, but I think he could go big against the Broncos this week, and that kind of concerns me as a non-owner. Look, the Broncos forward pack, if you get rid of those back rows, they probably have the best 8, 10, 13 in the comp.
Without a doubt.
And so, you'd think Ricky has some sense and goes, okay,
you need a match with the big boys today,
I've basically
Tarpanay.
rested Tarpanay, playing him only 49 minutes. Here's 60 minutes, and that could really, really hurt non-owners. But fair play to Tarpanay, I guess. Stats guys have been doing some fucking bullshit, but
you gotta respect the eateries still, regardless.
The next topic is a very interesting one. We've had a lot of discussion about it.
Quite divisive.
Coming off the bye. To Hines or not to Hines? What are your thoughts, Matt McQueen?
It's the question of the week, isn't it, Uguay? Look, I think it's a team by team basis. I think it's also dependent on how you want to play the game. Depending on what you think is going to happen through Origin. Look, there's many factors. Look, he's going to be up there with Nathan Cleary for the highest average this year, without a doubt. Like, no question. Probably a little bit higher. I think he's just got that little bit more upside in him. But at that price point, most likely playing Origin. I know there's some people saying, well, what if he doesn't? He really should be. Like, Freddie's an idiot if he doesn't pick him. Look, I know we don't know footy, but fuck me, he's too good not to play. Like, isn't he? Like, surely.
Look, the thing that would help a Hines buyer is Beach Sprint. I don't think he can play the 80 during. I don't think he can play 80 in an Origin match. Now, one thing for Reece Robson owners, I don't think Carousel's playing Origin this year, and you look at
possibly if Tigers' form continues.
You look at who's going to spell Beach Sprint. It's really only Robson and Carousel, and so Robson owners, I don't mean to scare you, but I'm scaring you. But yeah, with Nicho Hines, I think what I'd be saying is, if you're gonna buy,
it has to be next week.
It has to be. It's round 6, so yeah, he has to buy this week. Yeah, it has to be next week. The thing is, right? If you don't own Nathan Cleary, and you're looking at Hines, why don't you just go Nathan Cleary?
Yeah. At that cheaper price point, it might allow you to do, other options elsewhere leading into the buy period, whereas getting Nicho Hines could halt potential plans that you have.
Yeah. Plus, you look at Cleary's you look at his scores this season and like how he did those scores. Really, there just seems to be room for improvement everywhere.
100%. Even for the Panthers, like we just seen them romp the Raiders, their first humping of the year. Like, look, I think there'll be more once they figure out how they can play without Chorus out there.
And the thing about that humping, like you say, Cleary, he was actually really involved playing, but he didn't get involved fantasy wise. Like, he probably had 2 or 3 situations where he basically set up the try, and it was all him.
We'll get into that, won't we?
But,
Zach Hosking, he could have gone fucking massive again.
Zach Hosking.
Imagine that.
God, we were telling people, if you don't get Zach Hosking, you're malnourished. What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? But
we would have had to kick the majority of you. You find gentlemen and lasses out of the server if you didn't pick up Zach Hosking.
Oh, it would have been disgusting. But the thing with Nicho Hines, right? You look at his average, 5 goals a game. You'd think that has to come down. I mean, fuck's sake, the Sharks just lost to the Warriors. What's going on there? 5 goals a game. You think that comes down? 2 tries a game has to come down. To be fair, he hasn't broken the line, no line breaks yet. But 3.5 line break assists. 2.5 offloads. Now, I know Hines loves that little spin around offload, when he has the one guy's hanging on his leg. But
it's a trademark move.
But it has to come down. He did 1.5 last year. I think 1.5 is pretty fair. I really do. I look at Hines' average last year, and I just think that is genuinely that's just what he is.
Yeah.
He's a 70 average, And obviously there's nothing wrong with picking up a 70 average player, but he's priced at
Not
70.
at all.
And if there's anything I learnt last year, from doing the hindsight team, which don't think many of you would know about that, but the thing that really separates the best players in fantasy is the cut price keepers. You got to get the right ones, and you got to get on them at the right time.
At the right time. Yeah.
You know,
I'd have to agree with you there.
buying a player for $1 million who's probably going to hover around that $1 million, who also probably plays Origin. I can't recommend that over buying a player like Nathan Cleary, who's 880k. You'd think that he's only going to go up in price. He's already got one buy out of the way. Obviously, Hines will get his buy out in round 6, but I think they're going to average similar. Even if Hines does average 70 and Cleary averages 68, and there's that 2-point difference in captaincy, the price, the money that you save,
It makes up
going
for it,
Cleary,
for sure.
It makes up for it.
Yeah. And not to mention that Hines does actually miss. There is a buy in that Origin period. I think it's like 17. I could be wrong, but I think it's round 17. Sharks have a buy, so there is that to remember.
Yep, that's actually a big problem for Hines. You know, Cleary actually, and I talked about this preseason when we were talking about captaincy options. Cleary actually has 2 buys on the major Origin rounds, right? So if he were to back up from every game, he only actually misses 1 additional match due to Origin. But
Correct.
Hines only has 1 buy on a major Origin round, so the 13, 16, 19. And so if Hines plays Origin during the 7-week Origin period from
You're going to be
13
reeling.
to 19, he's going to miss 4 games.
And that's $1 million out of your salary cap for 4 out of 7 games, I think it is. Like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah. So honestly, I think if you already have an elite captaincy option, which you should have a Grant, you should have a Haas.
You should have a Cleary as
should have a
well. If
Cleary.
you don't, then you've probably got Hines. But yeah,
If you already have one of those guys, which you definitely should, just wait. I think honestly, you can probably pick up Hines just after Origin, and just be set. Look, if Hines doesn't play Origin,
then you're fucked.
you know, he
Good
was
luck.
a good buy in round 6. But to be honest with you, is he a buy in round 14 if he doesn't play Origin? You know, if he's not playing Origin in round 14, you get 3 games, then the buy, but then no buys after that.
There's also the chance that, look, even if he doesn't play round 1 Origin, look, if New South Wales lose and, you know, they're looking for a shake-up because they're like, well, shit, we can't be doing this again, he might just come into the team. You know, they might have to make wholesale changes in that regard. But, yeah, look, I think we're both coming to the conclusion not to Hines, but all could change still within a week. You never know. But I think all signs are pointing towards finding value elsewhere.
Yeah, look, the only way I could say Hines, like your 2 Hines, is if you genuinely think Hines is just
Leagues above the rest.
leagues above Cleary. If you think Hines is genuinely a 74 average and Cleary's 68, maybe you look at picking him up and you take that risk. But
Yeah.
you know, I think Hines is probably a 70. Cleary could get back to 70. I don't see him being lower than 67. And so for me, I'm going not to Hines because I think Cleary's just a good enough captaincy option.
Agreed. And I also believe that, you know, not spending that $1 million on Hines can allow you to, you know, I guess, look, if you've got 5s to put out, it helps you with that, but it helps you to make moves and plans around going into Origins. I think spending that money on Hines, it could leave you weak in some positions and also just prevent you from making some moves that you want to make. So
Definitely.
I think there's just better plays, to be honest.
And the thing is also, there are a lot of undervalued guns kind of starting to pop up, hey?
Yeah. You just got to pick the right ones that consider Origin, and value. Like that. Those are the 2 main factors you got to start to look at, I think, going on from next round onwards.
But, you know, Brayley's probably a buy. Teddy's a buy. Who else have you got there? You got like a Tarpanay in round 9, even though he's not
Tarpanay
undervalued.
round 9.
You kind of have to get him in.
Yep.
I feel like if you pick up Hines, you're really giving up
On a lot of
maybe even
those options.
two of those guys. Like,
Yeah, it's genuinely like picking up Hines. It's either what's going to win you fantasy or lose it, I think.
mm,
Like, he could be that game breaker who, if you've got, and he's like, oh, he could honestly have the highest upside in the comp this year. Like, and if he pumps out some of those good scores and he doesn't play Origin, those who didn't pick up on him, you're probably lost to the history books this year. I'm sorry to say,
yeah.
but if Hines just kind of like does his thing and then he plays Origin, I think the other players who went elsewhere are gonna start increasing in ranks.
The thing is that's so incredible to me is we are going to get a sub 600k James Tedesco.
Oh, for the
Like,
first time in who knows how long, but I'm feeling good about
and
that.
look, obviously he's a lock for Origin, but the thing that he does have going for him is two of his buys. The Roosters buys are on those
Yeah,
major buy rounds, so he probably only misses one, maybe two if he doesn't back up one of the games because of Origin. And so looking to pick him up, maybe if you don't pick him up in the Sharks game, because you want that break even to come down. But
you can't
tell
think
you
it's
what,
Dragons Anzac Day clash.
Dragons
It just feels
Anzac
right,
Day,
doesn't it?
and then Warriors after that. Look, I know War's up, Warriors up, but I'm not the biggest believer in the Warriors just yet. But that period leading up to Origin looks pretty decent for the Roosters.
He's going to score well. He's going to boom in price. Roosters look to be finally clicking. Hopefully, we'll see. See a bit more from him tonight. But
mm,
look, yeah, I feel like you're silly not to pick up a sub 600k Tedesco. Like, even with Origin coming out, it's just a lock, really.
Last year I was actually I was one of those people who started with Teddy because I just looked at the wing fullbacks and I was like, I'm not very comfortable with a lot of the options here. I'm just going to go for a gun, be safe. And to be fair, it actually did save me a couple of rounds. There was a lot of panic trading when a cashier went down here or there. But I held, and he dropped big. He dropped maybe 100k. It wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. But then he started shooting right back up again, and I would have kicked myself if I traded him out. And that's why I actually bring that up, because I've had a couple of people saying, should I trade Teddy out? He hasn't been scoring well. No.
It's honestly insane, dude. Like, if you go into Footy Statistics, which I think the majority of you guys listening should know about that site, it's what I'm seeing there. It hurts. It hurts my soul. I think it's like over 5% of owners are trading Tedesco.
That's
Like,
ridiculous.
are you like, are you thinking this through? Like, yes, he's got that bad score and he's missing this game, and he might lose more cash next game, but he'll still probably score. Like, I mean, look, there is a chance, with his concussion history, he misses the Sharks game, but that's still only 2 games. Like, and he'll definitely be back in time for the Dragons, you'd imagine. But like, yes, he was scoring low, he's going to lose a bit of cash, but everyone is going to pick him up, and you're probably going to do the same again. Like, it makes no sense.
And the thing
It
is,
really doesn't.
if look, obviously, if you start with Teddy, you trade him out after the first round. Obviously, that's stupid. But fair enough. He only lost 30k or something. He's lost 160k at this point. You're basically
Yeah.
in too deep, honestly. If you trade
Yeah,
him
you
out
are.
now, you've just had a massive loss. Whereas if you
Agreed.
hold, right, look, yeah, he might keep losing cash. He might be a 550k player. He might not be the fantasy gun of years past. He might be. But if you hold,
Highly fucking doubt it.
if you hold and he gets back to being James Tedesco, then yeah, you had to cop a couple of bad scores for 4 or 5 rounds, but you still got the gun. You still started with the gun. You don't have to use a trade on the gun.
Yeah.
It's the same
But-
thing with Adam Dewey. If you held Adam Dewey through that
You're in too deep,
injury
yeah.
fullback period, he's back to 5'8" now.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Everyone asking, trade Dewey? No.
you
He's
hold,
back in the position we bought him for at his, like, starting price this year.
mate.
Like, yeah.
Look,
Makes no sense.
I predicted the Tigers to be a little bit better than they
We all
are
got
this
wool
year.
pulled. We all had wool pulled over our eyes, I think. Like,
Oh,
I don't know how we were made to believe that they're actually going to be a good team.
Oh mate, I said Tigers over Dogs. I genuinely said
Oh.
Tigers would be better than Dogs.
Shocking.
You know,
Shocking call.
and so look, I predicted Dewey to do about like a 64 average. I don't think he's able to do that just because of how dog shit the Tigers are.
At
But
5'8", though, I still think he's a high 50s, possibly 60
he just
though.
does so much.
He does too much. Like it's insane the difference between 5'8" and fullback to Adam Dewey. Like he obviously his tackles go down, he kicks less. The run meters are probably a bit higher, you'd imagine. I haven't quite looked into it, but yeah, it's just, and I feel like at 5'8" he runs at the line harder, and he like him doing everything, like obviously the attacking sets, the tackle breaks, offloads. There's just so much to like about him being at 5'8", isn't there?
Well, the run meters are actually very identical, and that's one thing that I was really happy about at 5'8". He ran for 142 meters a game in those games at 5'8". That is way above what I was projecting. The tackles were low and the missed tackles were high, and also his protein was also kind of down. Tackle breaks were obviously high, but try assists, line breaks, that kind of stuff was down.
I mean, yeah,
Goals
it's not
down.
surprising considering how the Tigers have been going. Hey,
Yeah, and look, if the Tigers do just
somehow turn it
if
around
they do turn it around,
slightly.
he could get to that 60. But at the end of the day, he's just going to be another gun half at
Yeah.
6.
Yeah,
And so that's the thing. That's if you're picking up Hines, that's another undervalued gun that you're probably not getting.
mm-hmm.
And it's just
Agreed. But then again, do you want to take that risk jumping on the Tigers fiasco?
definitely a wait and see. I'd be getting
it's
in
definitely
Braylon
wait and see.
Tedesco way before
First.
Dewey.
Agreed.
So we're gonna move on to a little bit of a sad topic. The fucking shit dud cashies this year.
Oh, I feel like it's been worse than ever.
God,
honestly.
I hit on so many of them. You know,
Oh,
Talau. What did he fucking do? Fuck all.
fucking nothing. Shit
Yeah.
all. Harley Smith Shields, spectator. Does he even know he's playing NRL?
I don't
Probably
think he
not.
does.
That's why he got dropped.
I don't think
Like,
he does.
Oh.
He's genuinely just a fan on the field, and he's just watching.
To be fair, look, the fact that he was able to average 20 as a fan, good on him. Good
Yeah.
on him.
That's the best average I think a fan has ever
Oh.
pulled out.
Better than us.
Yeah,
like,
we don't do
out-
we don't do anything.
No. Like, so props to him. Props to him.
And look, preseason, like, I think we took a lot of risks. That I think the lesson to be learned is when you have these guys like Talau who seem to be honestly a fringe 10 points, and they haven't scored that well previously.
In years gone by.
Just spend up, probably just spend up.
Yep.
You know. So yeah, Talau and HSS, fuck me. Egan Butcher. Now Egan Butcher's an interesting one. Now, we bought Egan Butcher for a couple of reasons. Number one, his carb consumption on the edge is great.
Oh,
And it was great this year. He actually averaged about 47 carbs this year. What went wrong for Egan the Eater, was the errors. Kiri just didn't know how to throw a short ball to him. And just no protein at all. Like,
and he was found out in defence, so the missed tackles were a bit higher than we would have liked.
definitely. Now, the thing with Egan was also, we actually didn't know if Gus was going to come back. We didn't know.
No, yeah.
And obviously, Gus.
There was so much uncertainty.
I think Gus is playing New South Wales Cup next week, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I've heard he was back training.
So if that's the case, sure, Egan Butcher didn't turn out. Even if he scored well, he wasn't the cup race keeper that we thought maybe he could be.
I do believe Sitili Tupanua is playing New South Wales Cup as well, either this week or next as well. So
I don't think there's any. I know there's no Q Cup on. I don't think there's any New South Wales Cup on either because of Easter.
yes. So it would be next week then. I think both of them are playing, I'd imagine.
Actually, no. It looks like 1 second. Yeah. So New South Wales Cup is actually playing this week.
Yeah, okay. I think Tupanua is playing.
Yeah,
I believe that's what I've heard.
Yep. So Egan Butcher's one of those ones who, honestly, yeah, he didn't work out, but I don't think I regret it. You know?
Not really, but I think the only reason why we would regret it, sorry, is that there was guys like Bryce Cartwright sitting right there, minimum price.
Mate, don't start me. Let's finish up on the duds before we get into that.
Oh, but yeah, true.
Lukey
We'll talk
Garner.
about him later. Bloody hell. Lukey Garner,
Garner.
look. I think it's an unfortunate one because he clearly came into the season undone. If he didn't, and he probably would have just been solid, wouldn't have had these niggles that he's having right now, probably would have just kept that spot, done a job. But the fact that he came into the season underdone, wasn't really prepared, had a shit game round one, then bounced back with round two to make a statement, and then he's just been kind of like floating around, just doing nothing ever since. It hasn't really helped him, unfortunately. And look, it it we're all on him now, but it would have been much easier if we all just had Hoskin to begin with, hey?
Yeah. And look, it's not representative because he hasn't played an 80-minute match at all. He's averaging 48
No,
minutes, but he had a 0.76 ppm, right?
pretty good.
I'm not saying, you times that by 80, he's averaging 61. I'm not saying he was going to average 61 if Ivan
No,
Cleary just played him. But but I
no
think
chance.
he did actually look set for that mid 40s if he got the 80
Yeah,
minutes. And look, I think there was
that's
some
another
people
thing
who
to talk
thought
about, isn't it? Bloody hell.
there was some people who thought, oh, maybe he doesn't play 80, maybe he plays 70. I was actually a little bit concerned about that myself, but when he played 50,
Oh,
I
that was ridiculous.
I just, mate, I gave up right then and there.
You would have had to have met. You would have had to have imagined that that wasn't just Ivan having a hard on for Jamin Salmon, but him still being slightly underdone, right? Like, there's no
Maybe, yeah.
way that was part of the plan. Like, he's not really Army Kickout,
No.
where he's going to need that spell because he's fucking going at 120% every time he fucking gets the ball. But
Well, that's the interesting thing. Because that was actually one of my concerns with with Garner, is that Kickout wasn't always an 80-minute edge. But he
mm,
actually averaged 76 minutes last year. The,
yeah, the
Martin was
majority of the
actually
time he
the lower.
played good minutes.
Martin was the lower minute edge. Um, and so the fact that now Martin is just an 80-minute edge, which isn't that crazy, but fuck me, Garner. Well,
It was. I think Garner was unfortunate, but Egan Butcher was. I guess I feel like Egan Butcher was more of a L than like we just like got it wrong than
mm,
Garner. I think Garner was more unfortunate than Egan was.
definitely.
But yeah,
Next person that we probably have to talk about is Brandon Smith. Um,
look, yeah, we all got burnt by this Blake, didn't we? Bloody hell.
you know, a lot of people were saying, I don't expect him to actually make the value. I just, you have to go with the pack on this one because he's so highly owned. I was actually one of the ones who thought, no, he actually does have the value. Um,
Same, I
and
agreed. Yeah,
and just fuck me, no,
we
he didn't.
disappointed big time,
you know, he
big
he
time.
had a good game against the Eels, 48 and 68. That's still not actually good for like what he started
If
at
you
price
if
wise.
you if you if you looked at his scoring as well, like in that game, ugh, ugh.
Yeah,
And even in that game, I think it was against the Warriors where he scored that try. Wait, was it the Warriors where he came back
it
and
was the
scored that
Rabbitohs
try?
who scored the try.
The Rabbitohs, yeah. Like his scoring, like his scoring in those games after the period where everyone saw it, still hasn't been great. Like in
Mm.
terms of like how he's scored.
Yeah, I'm a Storm fan, right? And I remember watching Cheese last year, and he just looked a bit lazy. Um, I remember when everyone's saying, after the season, in preseason, oh, the Storm have lost Cheese, or what a loss. And then for the Roosters, oh, the Roosters now have Cheese, they have this gun hooker. But I kind of I didn't see it. You know, he just isn't the Cheese of 2021. And I don't know what's happened. I thought maybe, you know, changing his body composition to be more that of more of a hooker's body comp, with the preseason would help. But I don't
Look,
think it
I
really
think
has.
to be fair, I think that is something that affected him though in that last season with the Storm having to carry himself around a little bit heavier. But yeah, that's for sure. I would have expected much better this year. But to be fair, maybe once the Roosters warm into the season, those niggles go away. He's so cheap. I feel like I know Roosters don't play 13, but surely if he drops more, there's gonna have to be value. Like considering
Mm,
we all thought there was value to begin with, and he's dropped so much. Like
yeah.
Hooker Midgel, like surely there's a point where he like just goes berserk and the Roosters go on a run. Like I feel like you got to keep an eye on him.
I guess the thing you got to ask yourself is, when is he a pickup? You know,
Yeah.
do we really think he goes well against the Storm? I don't see it.
I mean,
Um,
old club,
Old
motivated to
club,
play well. That's like,
and I get that, but I just I really think Sir Harry's going to run rings around him. To be honest with you,
I mean, it's the more
bro,
likely scenario.
could you imagine, right? There's an alternate reality where the Storm keep Cheese instead of Sir Harry.
Oh.
Oh mate, I wouldn't want to
And
live in
what
that.
we the Broncos would be flying high, after having Harry Grant, Adam Reynolds, Reece Walsh, Ezra Mann, Pat Carrigan. Like, oh,
That's
if you
illegal.
take the poos.
That is illegal. Fucking hell. Then there's some other duds that they weren't as duddy, but you got like the Isaac Thompsons who haven't really done what we thought they could do. You had like a Matt Dory, didn't make as much cash as you would have hoped for. Then you also got Murdocking. You got Murdocking and Katoa. Now, the thing about Ben Murdoch-Masila, or Murdocking as we like to call him,
Oh
is
yes.
you look at his stats, in previous years in the second row, he actually had a fucking good PPM. Like, I don't know what's happened to it, but it's gone. I think the thing with Murdocking that's really going to help with scoring is playing 70 plus minutes. If we're getting more 40-minute, 50-minute games on the edge, he's probably not going to end up being a good cashy, but if he gets the 80 minutes, he probably will end up being a good cashy.
I think I have to agree there. Look, whether or not you have to get lucky with injuries, so Jack Bird doesn't end up shifting to the edge to spell him, or maybe he's building his match fitness, we're not too sure. Look, if he comes out with another decent score this week, then look, obviously owners are going to be cheering because they can most likely hold, and he might make his value over a slow period of time. But he might even be. Look, I wouldn't be one to suggest going for him. There's probably going to be better options, but he should be mid-edge at the end of this week. He could be one you take a risk on. Like, there is a world in which that is the case.
Look,
But
as a Murdocking owner myself, I'm obviously holding. But I wouldn't be recommending him to anyone. I think
no,
if you're looking for a basement player this year, and we'll get into, this round, sorry, and we'll get into that a bit later. But look at someone else.
there's other people. Like, if you're looking for cheapies this week, don't do it. Don't do it. Not this week. Definitely not this week.
If you don't have a Katoa from the Dolphins, from Fins Up, you could look to get him in. I think the Sullivan injury is going to be massive for him. 358 kick meters last week, and with Milford out, that's probably only going to go up because Nikorima isn't the biggest kicker himself.
No.
If Katoa just, and the thing you have to remember is what is he still 18 or is he?
He's so young. He's got so much room to.
He's still a kid. He's only going to get better, and so if you don't have Katoa, I think honestly he looks like a good trade-in.
I'd have to agree. Look, it's an interesting one because you can vouch for me on this. I wasn't too interested in starting with him. I was actually tempted to go away from the pack in this decision because I was like, I just don't see him, going off like with a bang. I was picturing fucking Lockie Ilias in my mind from last year.
Well, you didn't see Fins Up either, did you?
No, I didn't. I didn't see that I'd be having my fins up for the majority of this first half of the year. But look, I was genuinely flashbacks to Lockie Ilias from last year. Like, he was going to be a slow burn. I knew Katoa at some point would be an option, but I was one of those guys who was like, you know what? I might go for someone else, make that bank, and then if he becomes an option a couple of weeks down the track, a few months, go down to him, But we have him. We're in for the ride. You're definitely holding if you have him, and he's definitely a pickup if you don't.
Yep, I completely agree. We're gonna cover another topic, which it's just one player, but fuck me, it's interesting. Payne Haas.
Oh yes.
We obviously all know he's been doing great. 66.6 average in 58 minutes. But what's really interesting to me is how he's actually scoring, right? Now, I was actually predicting Payne Haas to be a known.
I think most would have to agree.
Most people would probably say, he's a known eater, you know. You look at 2019 to 2021, he was doing like 55 carbs a game in like 66 minutes, right? And so, you know, I thought, okay, he'll probably do that again, you know, healthy shoulders.
Probably not injured.
He hasn't. He's only doing 45.4 carbs per game, and he only has a CPM of 0.78, which in comparison to that 2019-2021 sample size, he had a CPM of 0.84. So even though his minutes have gone down, that's not the only reason his carbs have gone down. His carbs per minute have also gone down.
I may have been shocked to not hear his name in the honourable mentions or known eater list, but you're about to hear why he's still, you know, the top dog.
Oh mate, if you weren't looking at actually how these players were scoring, you're just looking at that number, you know, the points per game, you'd be thinking, fuck me, he's eating, you know, is he doing 57 carbs or some shit? But no, he's only doing the 45. But what's ridiculous to me is that Payne Haas has decided to go, you know what, I'll leave the carbs, I'll leave that on the table for someone else to consume. Give me the protein though. In that 2019-2021 sample size, 13.8 units, which is still really good.
Respectable.
But fuck me, 23.8 units. 23.8 units. What the fuck?
That's my middle.
And then he's also dropped his spilt food by a point as well. And so that's helped him out.
Take that every day of the week.
You know, I guess you'd expect that with the lower carbs, but the thing that's really helped Payne this season is the offload.
He's been devastating with that offload, let me tell you.
He wasn't actually the biggest offloader, throughout his career. What's really interesting, and I'm not sure if there's if it's causation or if it's just a correlation, but you actually look in those first 7 games of 2022 when he wasn't injured, his offloads were actually pretty good. 4 offloads, 1 offload. In that little period, that 7-game period, or actually 6 games, he only had 1 match without an offload. And so maybe we should have been expecting this, the rise in offloads. The decrease in carbs is definitely, I don't think anyone was expecting that. But you'll take it.
I don't know, that shit could increase. Like there's a world in which that increases and he does even better than he's already doing, which is insane to believe. But look, can you really count out a guy like Payne Haas? No, not really.
I mean, the thing that's insane, right? Again, I talked about Tarpanay in preseason saying that PPM has to come down from 1.10. It's unsustainable. A 1.14 PPM. What can you say?
Like if Tarpanay is able to do that, Payne Haas can do anything.
The thing is, I think this is probably going to be how he consumes this year, though, because the Broncos look like a lock for top 4, I'd say, unless they have some big injuries. And so you're only going to expect more games like those the Tigers' thumpings, and so his carbs probably are the mid to high 40s this year. But fuck me, you don't mind if he's doing that protein, hey?
Oh, yeah. Please, every day of the week you'd be taking that. Like, just to have a guy like Payne Haas in your team, if you don't own him and you're coming up against him in head-to-head, good luck. Good luck.
That's actually an interesting point is, if you don't own Payne Haas, do you look to trade him in? Soon?
Well, the Broncos actually have a good origin bye schedule for someone like Payne Haas. Like, he really only misses that 1 game, I believe, because Broncos have I think they've got the 1 bye. Yeah,
they have they have 2
they have 2 buys,
the origin round, so he only misses
so that he'd already be missing. Exactly. So they only have 1 game where they're actually playing, and they have no buys within that origin period aside from the big buy rounds. He's one who could easily back up after origin with their schedule.
Now, like we have talked about before, guns don't seem to be moving much in price. I think Payne Haas was priced about 58 to start the season, and he's averaging fucking basically 67. So you'd think, oh, mate, he's shot up, but he's actually only gone up about 45k.
It's honestly like weird.
It's
Yeah,
strange, definitely. I think it's just a product of there's been so many good scorers this year.
yeah, you'd have to
I think
imagine.
points have been devalued, basically.
Yeah,
So that multiplier that I constantly talked about, 14.3, has probably come down to like a 13 or something. But
I think that's even more reason not to pick up someone like Hines as well, right? Like,
mm,
he's just like, I feel like even if he continues to average 70, if that's the case, his price is going to come
yeah,
down,
if
right?
he averages 70, is he actually overpriced? That's something you need to
Yeah,
think about.
if the point multiplier has
Yeah.
changed, yeah,
So
it's a fair call.
tell you what though, if you don't have Payne Haas, what I would say is, if you already have another captaincy option in the Sir Harry Cleary, I wouldn't say destroy your team for him, but
But if you can do it,
if
fucking
something
why not?
happens, like if you have a Carrigan, right? Carrigan, honestly, to me, he seems like it could be a trade out. He definitely suffers more from Broncos playing good than Haas does. I'll tell you that much, right?
Yep, yep. Because Payne Haas can get off the back of it, fucking send blokes flying. Like he does have a try scoring ability. Carrigan, we're yet to see it. He's not scored a try, the
You know
big
what's
fella. I hope he
incredible to
does,
me?
but sorry.
You know what's incredible to me?
Go on.
Pat Carrigan is currently not putting up no neater numbers.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't know
Ooh.
what's happened. It was really affected by that Tigers game. And here's the thing. I thought, right, oh, he's not going to have... Because he actually had 2 sub-20 tackle games last year. And I thought, no, those are massive outliers. Surely that doesn't happen again. He made 12 tackles in 53 minutes.
Yeah. And if the Broncos continue to hump some of these lower on the table teams, it could become a common trend. And look, would you say he's a trade out this week though? I don't know.
Look, he has
But
a high break even. He plays Origin, so that's something you need
depends
to
on what
think
you
about.
do with him, right?
I think the thing that you also have to think about is against the Dragons. He actually had a 13-point play at the
Yeah.
very end of the game that saved the score.
Yep.
If he doesn't have that extra 13 points,
And guess who made that play? Guess who made that play? Big Payne Haas.
Yep.
He made it all possible, and Carrigan obviously was there and was part of the movement. But
But that 13-point play over 5 games, we're talking about an extra 2 and a bit points to his average. That's a low 50s average, and is he going to have more and more high 30s, low 40s games as the Broncos just keep sustaining good performances? That's concerning. So honestly, if you have a Paddy Carrigan and don't have a Payne Haas, I wouldn't mind doing that swap. I don't think it's sideways. I think it's a
I don't mind it, but I don't love it at the same time because obviously they both play Origin. But I think the scoring difference is enough. But if there's a non-Origin gun that you could go to, maybe I'd prefer it slightly more. But yeah,
the thing is, I guess you got to think, what does he score in these next 3 rounds? Because obviously we talk about Tarpanay as a round 9 pickup.
mm-hmm.
If you think that Carrigan can hold price until round 9, probably just trade to Tarpanay. But
Yeah.
if you look at that high break even, and you look at some of these easier matchup Raiders and Titans, and you look at that and you think he could drop below 700, I'd go to Haas now.
Yeah, yeah, it's really up to your like perspective of how events play out, really.
Yeah. All right, and another thing, if you're in the Discord, you'd obviously know about it, but if you just watch the videos, you wouldn't. The Men of the Table team. We have our own team in the Discord where we vote and we pick players, pick trades, pick captains. Fuck me, we're going well.
Why not, aren't we?
We are ranked 2400, around that. Scored 4400 points. And you look at our team, I think we're actually set up to just keep climbing.
By golly gosh, do we have the most eaters of any team in the league?
Fuck me. We have Sir Harry, who we think is in the top King Known race.
Top echelon.
And then we have
yep.
number 2, Matt McQueen, Cameron Murray.
Oh, doesn't get better than that.
And then
Doesn't get better
got
than
some
that.
protein in the mids, which obviously, I'm not sure about it. I kind of want
Yeah,
carbs
we know
in
you
the
thought
mids.
some protein in the mids.
But Payne Haas, and then you got Ryan Platterson. We picked up on Sean Johnson. We got those 2 tries.
Obviously, we have Jermaine Course.
Jermaine Course. Tohu we held. So if he gets back to doing him Tohu things, that's a massive in. If you're wondering what trades we made this week, we've brought in Jack Bird and we've brought in Elafiona Camperera, which we can talk about a little bit later.
May I just say quickly here on Jack Bird?
Yeah.
Quite possibly the biggest eater in the centres. I don't think anyone challenges him for it.
Oh,
Just purely based on his role in the Dragons team. Like,
yeah, look,
it's ridiculous.
I always say in the centres, that final team, you want to have 1 carb consuming center and you want to have 1 protein consuming center. Now, just for some reference, right, we kind of like to have 30 units of carbs to be called a positional known and to play in the centers. Jack Bird is currently doing 40 units of carbs.
He exceeds expectations tremendously.
Look, he's not considered a positional known because obviously he's not playing in the centers. That's disrespectful to your Campbell Grahams of the world that actually are doing that kind of known ship in the centers. But to be able to play 40 units of carbs in the centers, it's very good.
Oh yeah, you'll take it every day of the week. And look, he's probably not going to shift around too much in price. He might, fluctuate up and down slightly throughout the year, but I reckon where he's at is like,
yeah,
where he's going to stay.
You get what you pay for.
Yeah.
He scores a 54 last week. His break-even's a 48. So he's going to kind of hover around that high mid 40s, I think.
Yep.
Priced at the 600k. So if you ever want to get Jack Bird in, I'm not going to say no. There are some other options you can also have a look at, like a Zach Lomax or a Will Penasini. Lomax is actually really interesting because of how cheap he is. We're talking about a player who can probably average not quite what Jack Bird will do in that 65 plus minute lock role, but Lomax is typically a low 40s average and he's priced at 500k. So
very cheeky
he's
shit.
Someone else you can look at. But yeah, if you're not involved in the Discord, if you're not involved in the Matt team, get in it, get behind it. We're going fucking well. I'll tell you that much. Much better than
you want to be involved. We're telling you now.
Personal team.
Oh well, look. All I'm gonna say is the comeback is it's on. It's far from over. Yeah,
Another topic that I think is a bit interesting. I got some slander in the AFG Discord for this one. Captaincy options. Who's actually gonna be the best average this year? Because I put it out there. Now I love Sir Harry. I love Sir Harry.
Yes, we all know about your.
I put it out there. There's a chance that this man is the best average. I don't think it. Look, it's unlikely. But fuck me, like I said, he's averaging.
He's going to be
70.
third if he's not, somehow above Cleary and Hines. Like he will be third.
He's averaging 70, right? And you look at the stats, and nothing really seems out of place. You look at like the biggest. Oh, that's a bit high. Is the tackles, right? But guess what? Also is high. The missed tackles. If his tackles come down to 45, his missed tackles are going to come down to 3 probably from that 4, or like a 3.5. And you think if the reason his tackles are coming down is because the Storm are playing better. If the Storm are playing better, those run meters are going to go up, right?
And attacking stats.
And that's the thing. The attacking stats are low. So I think Grant could be that 70 average. There's a chance, and 70 average might be.
I'm not gonna rule it out, but I am hesitant to say that he will usurp the throne of Cleary and Hines.
Oh, but mate, it's a hot take, but fuck me, if he is King Known,
God, would we love to see it? God, that would.
Captain King Known.
Look, King Known, top fantasy scorer. You can't ask for much more. But I'm not gonna, put myself in that boat just yet.
Not gonna put yourself in the firing line. Fair enough.
No, not at all.
I mean, I guess the other people who are really looking like they could compete for it are probably Murray, Haas, Cleary, Hines, hey?
Yeah, I don't really see any other options, to be honest with you.
You know, 'cause I guess what I'd say is honestly,
Maybe yogurt as a pod option if you
oh,
think what like if you've got yogurt and you think some other performers are going to struggle that week. I mean, it's a pod option. What can I say?
it
What
is,
can I
it
say?
is. You know, he has the thing you have to ask yourself with captains, right? So if you're the type of person who's just going to pick and stick, it's best just to go for who the highest average is, right? Because
Yep.
at the end of the day, that's how the math works out. If you have the highest, if you captain the person who averages the most, no matter their floor or ceiling, you're gonna get the most captaincy points. But if you're someone who likes to kind of shift around, you know, based on matchup, based on injuries, based on stuff like that, one thing you do have to consider is the floor of some of these captaincy options, right?
Yep.
The thing about being a half is your floor is typically lower. You know, you look at Hines. He had a couple games in the 40s last year. Cleary's already had a 37. Now, admittedly, Grant had some 40s last year, but that Tigers game where he scored 51 and he got like no attacking stats, he didn't run for much. To me, that kind of seems like his floor, right? That 50. Payne Haas, you know, I don't in games where he gets 50 minutes, you know, when the Broncos just throb, his floor is probably about a 50. Isaiah Yogurt's probably going to be an 80-minute player every single week. His floor is probably like a 55 or something. You know, Cameron Murray, 60 minutes, lowest score 45. And so, if you're someone who likes to shift around, captaining a Haas, Grant, or Murray or Yo, I think it's a little bit more intriguing and it's a better option than a Cleary or Hines because you're never going to fuck up badly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're only ever
But
going to
you do have to remember they don't quite have the upside of Nathanielson or Hines.
yeah, I guess it just depends. I think what I would honestly say is like, look, obviously Cleary and Hines can do 120. You know, that's just like
Yeah.
they can have a game like that. But I feel like a Grant and a Murray more so than a Haas and a Yo can crack that 90. Can like
Yep.
Is it controversial to say Harry Grant's going to get a century this year?
Oh,
Is that hot?
it's a hot take, but I look, if anyone is to do it out of like, you know, that hooker mid, you know, known eater status, it would be Harry. It would be Harry.
I mean, okay, take this Rabbitohs game, right? 87, give him a try, give him a line break,
Tackle break.
give him another tackle break from that, you know, dummy half try,
Mhm.
century.
Yep.
He didn't get a
It's
try
possible.
assist, didn't get any line break assist. Missed
That's why I'm
4
not going to
tackles,
doubt him.
You know?
I'm not going to doubt Sir Harry, you know, the quite possible King Known of the Year. Like, yeah, I'm not going to doubt him. Why would you?
Fuck
How
me.
could you?
It'd be. I think what you do get with Hines and Cleary is more often you're going to get those 80s and 90s than you're going to get with a
Yep.
Harry.
Yep.
But like I said, I think that Cleary more so than Hines probably is going to score a 40 more than a Grant. And so yeah, if you're someone who just can't help yourself and you just always fucking switch captains, honestly, I would look at the known eaters because you kind of know what you're going to get out of them. Or Payne Haas just because he's Mr. Consistent. He hasn't scored under 62 this year, which is incredible. But yeah,
So for like numbers, bloody hell.
mate, if you are a person who
With the
has-
upside as well.
if you have the self control, probably just captain a Cleary or Hines. So that would be my recommendation. And so I guess that kind of leads us on to the final bit of the Wafflecast. Some potential pickups for round 6. Now, sorry, this video is going to be going out a bit late. It won't probably... you won't have a lot of time
Anyone,
to,
yeah, no,
to,
look,
to,
it's
to
fine.
do
It might just confirm a few selections for people
Yeah, tell
after
you what,
they've
you
made
can,
them.
you can put this little Wafflecast on during the Roosters Storm game and kick yourself that you might have
Didn't pick up some of these players. Exactly.
So we'll start with Cody Nikorima. When I first looked at Nikorima, I was like, ooh, I like this option because, to be honest with you,
They're cheap as well.
I wouldn't be surprised if Milford doesn't come back into the side.
Yeah, I mean, there's many reasons that he might not come back to the side for a while. You know, look, re-aggravating a hamstring injury is quite common. Cody could just play better. There's many
Mm.
reasons. There's many reasons.
Like
Like,
obviously Sean O'Sullivan will come back in, but that's 3 to 4 months
yeah,
away.
yeah, it's ages away. Ages away.
And so you look at Nicarima, not to bore you with numbers, it looks like he's probably about a high 30s.
Yeah.
I think that's what we can probably expect from him. No goal kicking, kind of adjusting for the fact that the Dolphins are a bit a bit inconsistent probably.
They're a bit shot for players as well at the moment,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
So I think you can probably expect from maybe a 37ish, 38.
Yeah.
And yeah,
And it
so,
is price point, so
If it-
you'd take that.
but you only take it if he keeps the spot over Milford probably.
Yes. Yeah.
And so that's the
That's
thing
the issue.
you got to ask
And
yourself.
with his break even this week, I think you can afford to wait and see how he plays with Katoa, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And also, not to mention, don't forget, 3 trades can be used from next week. So if you've already got like 2 planned, if you're really bullish on Hines and you're going Hines and you need to downgrade, and there's just there's this one cheapie I want to get, you can chuck that along the side,
Yeah.
So look, yeah, that extra trade next week. If you were gonna make 2 this week, but you're not too sure on one of them, look, just do the one. You can possibly make that next trade next week instead of making 3 trades to get Hines, which I think would be ridiculous. Yeah, that's my opinion.
I'd agree with that. We also got to look at Sele. Now, Sele is an
Yes,
interesting
yes.
option. To be honest with you, if he was starting, mate, in the team.
Look, it's a darn shame that Tavita Totola's come back 2 weeks early. Fucking hell. It ruined all of our dreams of picking up Hame. Look, I've looked at him quite in depth because I was interested in big old Hame, but he's gonna need at least, I think it's high 30s, 40 minutes with his PPM to make his 10 points. And with Tavita back, Tom Burgess, look, their bench isn't great. So look, Fafita, Mawali, they're going to play at 15, 20 minutes. It's fine. Sele will probably be good this week. But look, they've still got Jai Arrow to come back.
Yep.
Who knows when that's going to
Havili,
happen? Might be
even?
Havili as well. Look, they could be a while away. They could be close. Who knows? Who bloody knows?
Yeah.
It's just best to wait with his break even. He's not going to shift too much, I don't think, this week.
Yep, I'd agree with that. So, look, I'm not gonna yell at you for picking up Sele, but
No, not at all. Yeah.
I'm also not gonna be a big proponent of it. I'm not picking him up in my team, is what I'd say.
No, I think there's some other juicy option that we're both just drooling over, aren't we?
Oh, look, I'm not drilling over him, but
Oh,
He-
well,
he-
drooling,
he is going
drooling.
into my team. One person that we do need to talk about is Sean Russell.
Yes.
Look, some people have asked me about him. The thing that really concerns me is reserve grade scores like dog shit.
And for the viewers, is that in the winger or centre position?
That's in the wing. But
Just purely wing or some centre, some wing?
let me check for you. Yeah, so he hasn't actually played center in reserve grade. He's only
So
played
it's
winger.
just better playing centre, yeah.
But one thing that
At a high
at,
level.
looking at these reserve grade stats, so he averaged 26.7 with an 80% try rate. So
Yeah.
that's a bit concerning. And the thing is, with his base, he was actually making 8 tackles on the wing. And so yeah, you might be like, okay, tackles go up to 13, plus 5 points. That's 31. That's not a bad buy. But then the try rate's also going to come down. Moving into the centers. Missed tackles will go up. Centers typically have high missed tackles because they're making those, shooting out of the line, trying to save a try tackles. And so I just don't see the value in Sean Russell.
Look, you know what would have been nice? If he had that duel, which obviously if he keeps the spot, he'll get it after round 13, which is a shame because he was play round
You wouldn't
13.
want to have him by then, though.
No, exactly. But with the Eels run that they could go on, if he had it now, I know center's a rough position with everyone, having Huntley for Shields.
Yeah.
Praying to all those owners out there if they can sort that out somehow. Look, it would have been nice, is all I'm going to say, with the Eels run if he had the duel. Look, I can see why some people were initially interested, but don't do it this week. I know Sean Lane's back. The left side's looking better. Dill Brown, Sean Lane, Sean Russell's there with them. Look, it could work out, but I think he can also you can wait on him, see
Yeah.
how he goes.
Now you're obviously a lot more keen on this bloke than
Oh
me,
yes,
so I'll let you
I
take
will.
him. I'll let you have him.
Look, there is many reasons why I'm keen on this man over here. The stats point to him just, fucking running rings around Michaeli Ravalawa on the weekend. It's Alafinia Khan Pereira. Look, this man, he's got speed to burn. His hips can move. They don't lie. He's got a negative 18 break even. He's going to make money. Look, if he goes bad, he'll make money. Then, look, you can reassess from next week. But if he goes big, you're kicking yourself if you don't get him. Just do it. Just do it. Do it. Get on the train.
You know, a lot of people, have been saying, oh, I don't even think I think he's a bit of a shit winger. To be honest with you, I think almost this new breed of winger in like the top tailor-made, like big hard carries, big PCMs, it's kind of like just that good fast finishing winger has just become like undervalued almost,
Yeah.
Look, as a Storm fan, Coates can piss me off sometimes, but having a guy who you can just kick to, in the corner, and it's genuinely a contest between him and the fullback to get to the ball.
Yeah, you're laughing if you got
Having that
Khan
X
Pereira.
factor on the wing is actually, I think it's really valuable to the team. So I don't actually think
And
he's
look,
a bad winger.
I think a lot of people might be scared this round because no Kieran Foran. But all I'm going to say, I'm just going to put this out there. Last week, Kieran Foran went off 20 minutes in, right? He had one line break Khan Pereira in that first 20 minutes. How much did he finish on? 5.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
a good point.
Didn't need Kieran Foran. It was all Big Dave Fafita next to him. I'm
And
telling you.
To be honest with you, it's Toby Sexton who comes in. I think Toby Sexton's been disrespected, man. I think he's a good player with a lot of potential.
Agreed.
It's
I
an
don't
interesting
think
thing
there's.
for the Titans, hey, because you've got Tanner Boyd, Toby Sexton, and Tom Weaver.
Yeah,
who are
true.
all
Thomas
looking
Weaver's there.
good young half options. So I don't know how they're
Really
going to deal with
interesting
that.
where they go. Yeah. How long did they sign for it for?
Oh,
Couldn't have been long.
I think maybe 2 years.
Surely only 2 years.
If they sign him for more, you'd be fucking pissed if you were a Titans fan. Yeah, he has a contract till the end of 2024.
Yeah, okay. Makes sense. Look,
Boyd is also off contract at the end of 2024.
Interesting.
Sexton at the end of 2024. And guess
oh
what?
my god.
Tom Weaver, end of 2024.
Oh,
So-
Jesus.
You'd hope that they extend one of those.
Titans
blokes.
fans sweating right now.
Mate,
Fuck
don't
yeah.
worry, they've locked down Dave Fafita for like 800k
Yeah,
or something.
that's big.
Yeah. Go on.
Yeah, look, all we're going to say, Alafiana Khan Pereira, get him in your team. Do it.
Oh,
Do it.
Look, I'm not as confident as you, but whatever. I respect the call. I respect
Look, all I'm going to say is once he scores his double or his hat trick on the weekend, we're all going to be creaming.
Yeah, that's it. So I think we're just gonna end the Wafflecast with some round 6 tips.
Oh, yes. Let's get into it.
Thursday night game tonight at the time of recording. Storm versus Roosters.
Oh,
Look,
I'm
I'm
fucking
a Storm
keen to this
fan.
encounter.
You know who I'm tipping. I actually tipped against the Storm against the Rabbitohs, just because of that. If the Storm win, I'm happy. If the Rabbitohs win, I'm happy. But tell you what, I'm not doubting them. I'm not doubting them this time. I'm going Storm.
Look, and I don't blame you. Hughes back. We get to see that combination of Hughes and Eli Katoa once again.
Mate.
It's going to be good. No Tedesco. Look, I know Joey Minefield's in. It's in Melbourne Thursday night. That's back up the Storm to win. I believe Rando, shout out to Rando Stats Guy. Look, I think Storm are undefeated on Thursday night at home or something. It's something
Jesus
wild.
Christ.
Like a night, it's something wild. You back the Storm. 1-12. It'll be a tight game. It'll be a good game.
It's
Good
not.
game.
It's not only Hughes back. It's also Tarek Sims back from Q Cup.
True. True. Can't forget about big old Tarek.
70 minutes in Q Cup or some dumb shit. I thought he was actually going to be out again this week. But no, he's back. He's
We
gonna be
just
playing.
need to wait for that sprinkler, Jack Howarth.
Oh mate,
Oh,
don't get me started. We need a whole fucking Wafflecast just about him for
on
now.
Jack Howarth.
Just for him.
Breaking news: Jack Howarth has made the Storm side.
Oh mate,
We've been talking about it for hours.
when Jack Howard debuts, I'm doing a 3-hour Wafflecast just talking about that man. But no, I think we're gonna get some wall bricking as well, mate. We're gonna get some fucking wall bricking.
I don't think I'm as confident on the Warbricking like this week. Look, as we all know, most people love Warbrick. I love Warbrick. I've got him, but I'm not as confident on the Warbrick this week because he's up against Toops and Suoliti. But look, if he does Warbrick, I won't be complaining.
To tell you what, that battle on that edge is actually gonna be fucking a good watch because Warbrick's obviously fucking massive. A lot of people forget how big Remus is. He's a fucking massive cunt. And then Suoliti and Tupou, you know, it's gonna be a really good battle. Tell you what, I'm a bit worried for the Roosters right edge though. Olam's gonna be snapping Drew Hutchinson and Q.
Yep, I'm gonna say if you're you know a punter out there, cheeky one. Look, I know not many people are talking about him because he has been solid for the Roosters, but look, Drew Hutchinson, I think his might be numbered. I think Olam's gonna crunch him, and I think he's gonna leave him for dead, and he might go over for a cheeky try.
Right. And you want to know something about Olam? His biggest defensive asset isn't actually the big hits. What it is the fear
that he instills in the
right
that he instills in the attackers.
You remember that hit he had on Sam Walker? Hey,
oh my god,
mate! I'll tell you what. When Sam Walker is swinging to
evil.
the right, he's gonna be fucking looking twice at Olam.
Oh yeah, 100% he is. Who wouldn't?
We're both going Storm for this one, eh?
Yeah, still 1 to 12 for me.
Friday, 4 o'clock game, not the 6 p.m. that you normally get. Bulldogs Rabbits. I don't think there's many big changes. Although Dogs have a lot of players out. Hey, yeah.
Yes, they are decimated.
So there aren't a lot of big ins, but there's a lot of big outs.
Yeah, Rabbits have Totola back.
Tane Milne, who's going to be playing.
Tane Milne's in the wing.
No Johnston.
No Johnston, but look, to be fair, I
can't see Bulldogs recovering.
From Good Friday clash, Rabbits love it. Look,
this Harrison Edwards, is he a debuter?
I feel like I've seen his name before. I feel like I've seen his name before. He might not be, but we can quickly check.
He played a couple of times last year. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, when you're naming Harrison Edwards at starting lock.
Yeah, times are rough.
Tell you what,
look,
we finally got a Jackson Topine. He's finally back in the team. I know so many Dogs fans have been waiting for that man to be named.
It's strange that he's kind of just fallen out of favour since he first debuted, but maybe he hasn't. Maybe they've just been, wanting him to develop a bit more, but still a bit weird. But now he's back, so...
Well, all that matters is Rabbitohs 13+.
Oh, look,
agree on that.
I think we both can agree on that, but Dogs could definitely make it a fight, but yeah, Rabbits 13+. Look, all I'm going to say is that Easter weekend, Terrell's got his cows, participating in the Easter show. I think he goes big, to celebrate, a possible win there. I think Terrell dominates today. I mean, not today, tomorrow, sorry.
8 o'clock game on Friday. We got the Cows versus the Finns are up. Now, our Finns have been up.
They have been until last week, unfortunately.
Are they up for the Friday 8 p.m. game?
I don't think they are. I'm going to say. I don't think they are. Injuries hitting hard still. Look, they're going to... They get... Was Jeremy Marshall King back last week? Or was he back this week? I know he's back this week, but was he back last week?
I don't think he was playing last week. I might be wrong.
I'm not too sure, but yeah. Look, last week was tough for them anyway. I think they could have done a job until they were hit with injuries. Milford went off early. Was Kenny Bromwich injured at some point? Because he didn't play the full 80. It was a bit weird. I didn't get to watch the game, so I'm not too sure what happened there. Scotty Drink back as well. Scotty Tahoti. Look, I think he runs rings around the Finns, to be honest. And I think the Finns stay down for another week.
For the Cowboys.
Ruben Eater. Oh, Ruben
Eater, Cotter.
What an amazing sight to see. We need a bit of Ruben Eater in our lives again.
Here's the interesting thing about Ruben Eater. You got Jake Granville and Tom Chester on the bench.
Oh, I know. Look, okay. I know this is straying away from fantasy, but I've got Ruben Eater in my super coach. I've held him through his injury because my front row forwards are stacked. But look, he's come back from injury. But with that bench, there's just surely there's minutes, even though he's come back from injury. It's a hard one
Mate,
to think
it'd
about,
be
you know.
hard done by to not get 55.
Yeah, yeah.
And
It,
this is the thing, right? This is why I bought Ruben Cotter because, bro, once Tommy Chester came in onto the bench as an impact player, fuck me,
yeah, there we go.
Ruben Cotter, on it, like, look, he won't probably get it this week because he's coming back from the injury.
Yeah.
But God, mate, is he going to average 65 minutes with Tom Chester on the bench, especially with no James Talma
Yeah,
or
that's
McLean
the interesting thing. Yeah, McLean, like that. I don't know how long they're out for. I don't
and
think
Lukey?
they're
Oh,
and Nane is suspended.
yeah.
But look, I don't think they're long term outs. I don't believe, except Lukey.
Hmm.
So Nane's back next
Never
week, I
know what
believe.
hamstring injury though.
Yeah. Um, but McLean, I think he was hamstring as
Yeah,
well.
he was.
But I think it was shorter term than Lukey. But Tarmau, got no clue what injury that is. But yeah, I think once all those players are back in, does Tom Chester even keep a spot on the bench
I think Tom Chester becomes their 14, like that hammer that they had last
like
year.
the Hammer role?
Yeah.
Maybe he might be in and out like the Hammer was. So maybe the weeks that he's in, Cotter can get those big
To be
minutes.
fair,
Weeks that he's out,
Hammer actually out much? I feel like whenever he wasn't on the bench,
I don't know.
he was
I feel like he was in
starting.
and out a bit. That's a bit weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Tell you what,
The
and
Cows are a bit hard to read into this year, but look, I think in this encounter, up in Townsville, Wayne hates going up there. Like they have a bad record whenever Wayne travels up. It's going to be hot. I think the Cows 30 plus for
definitely.
me.
This is actually a kind of an interesting game. Saturday, 5:30, Panthers vs Seagulls.
Oh, what a clash.
Now Seagulls were a bit down. I think they've been a little bit. They haven't been as good as they were to start the season, but Penrith also haven't started crazy. Obviously, they had that really good game against Raiders. I don't think it's as clear cut as some people think, but I will be tipping
No.
Penrith definitely.
Yeah, Penrith 1 to 12 for me. I know some people might be down on Manly after last week, but I really think that sin bin from Ola Kawatu swung the momentum heavily in
Yeah.
that contest. Like it was proper gonna be a romping if that never happened. I do
Yeah.
believe, and it would have been hard for the Knights to recover, even though they have shown fight this year and they, obviously fought back into that. But I think the Seagulls will bring it to Panthers. I know a lot of people after last week, Panthers romping, Seagulls disappointing, are going to expect the Panthers romping, but I don't think so. I think it'll be a good clash. Panthers probably come out with a dub,
The
but
next two
yeah.
weeks are actually very interesting for the Seagulls because they have Panthers this week and then a Storm. So you'd hope that they can get a win against one of them. Otherwise,
Yeah.
they could start dropping down the ladder.
Yeah,
Yeah. So going
and the
Penrith.
pressure might pile on Anthony Seabold once again. You'd hope not, but we'll see.
Saturday 7:30, Bronx Raiders.
Humping, humping, hump, 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 hump,
Fucking
hump,
hell.
hump, hump. Broncos 15 plus.
15 plus.
Yeah, man.
Oh fucking. Yeah.
I mean,
Look,
there's nothing else to say, is there?
Raiders'
Humping.
confidence is down. The only chance the Raiders have is if Tarpanay does a fucking Tarpanay, you know?
Yeah, there's no Jack White. And it's a humping. I'm sorry, it's a humping.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you, Broncos.
Yeah.
Sunday, 4 p.m. Titans Dragons.
Oh, this
Fuck
is
me.
honestly. Look, the Sunday games, I don't know why. Like, I feel like they usually are, but surely they can do better.
They've
But
been
the
a bit
Sunday games
shit
are always
house.
poo-slingers. This is
Yeah.
just the complete shithousery usually. At least last week we had a good game between the Warriors and Sharks. But, fucking hell, they're always poo-slingers, aren't they?
And you don't know who to tip as well.
No,
Like,
no. It's a complete flip of the coin. Look, Dragons got him in their encounter last year at home. No, at the start of the year at home. Now Titans are at home. Are they going to return serve?
I'll
I'm
tell
not
you
too
what,
sure with Kieran Foran and Brimo out. Like,
to be honest with you,
tough.
I think the Titans, and also I think Jaden Campbell at fullback
I
made
like Campbell at fullback.
everyone in the Titans better. You know, I didn't realize this about Campbell. He's 23.
Yeah.
I thought he was like a 20, you know, and that's why they weren't like, you know, putting him in. He's 23, and so
yeah.
To be honest, mate, if Campbell doesn't if that fullback spot isn't his, he's gonna leave soon. Like,
Yeah. But it'd be interesting to see where he ends up for sure. Because he's a good player. I like him. But
oh,
the Titans they seem to be disrespecting my boy.
Obviously, he's back running. It's great to see, but Pappenhausen doesn't get back to Pappenhausen. You know?
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's cheeky. It's cheeky for sure.
Fuck me. I don't know who I'm going to go. I think I'm going to go Titans just because I like Jaden Campbell at fullback.
I like Jaden Campbell at fullback. Look, I don't mind the halves pairing of Sexton and Boyd in terms of how they're going to play. Fafita being on the left, bro.
Mate,
that's what I'm saying.
If he was on the right against Murdocking.
Oh,
mate.
That would be
automatic
chaos and consumption.
Automatic.
Yeah, I think, but to be fair, he's up against Jaden Sewer and Michaela Ravalawa and who's that right centre? Moses Sully. Look, there's some big boys in there, but I think he's going to be able to create that space for Campera and he's going to fucking run rings around all of those players.
Yeah,
but
Ravalawa doesn't have the pace to keep up with Campera.
Oh god, no he doesn't. He's clueless out there. Look, he's good in attack, but fuck me. Yeah. I don't know what he does in defence. In saying that though,
Jack DeBellin, back.
I like the Dragons in this one, but I'm gonna regret it. If I tip the Dragons, Titans are gonna win. If I tip the Titans, Dragons are gonna win. It's that sort of game. I'm going Dragons. I'm going Dragons.
No,
I'm doing it.
Knights vs Warriors. This is interesting, right? A lot of people will go Warriors.
Up the wires. Up the wires.
I'm not on the train.
No.
It's controversial. I'm not on the train, mate.
Damn.
I don't know. There's just something about it. Where is it? Is it being played in New Zealand or?
Nah, Newcastle.
In Newey. Mate, I'm sorry. I'm not on the train. I'm not on the train. I'm going Knights.
Wow. Look, it is going to be a close game. Both teams, especially the Warriors, I feel like they've been exceeding expectations this year. Especially the Knights. Like, look, they may have not had the best start to the year. They were still jagging those gutsy wins. Like, bro, that win against I know they were the Tigers, but fucking hell, that was a win with all those injuries they had. Obviously they lost to the Warriors in a close one in round 1, I believe. Look, it could go either way again this game. I just like the Warriors, what I've seen from them. That fight back against the Sharks. Oh,
Lockie Miller at fullback though.
Oh, I know. Tell me about it. I mean, we all sympathise with him when he didn't want to tackle the big man Olukwatu. Look, as much as he wants to say, "Oh, I thought he was diving on the 10-metre line," Lockie, it's okay. It's okay.
Mate,
we understand.
It's incredible. One of the biggest things with Lockie Miller's scoring that I was a little bit concerned about was the tackle breaks. 9 tackle breaks averaged at fullback last year.
It's just in his base.
He's averaging 9.6.
It's incredible.
It's just the way he plays. He just has a knack for breaking tackles. It's incredible. And
I think I don't want this to be an early crow, but keeper.
I'll tell you what, with how poor a lot of the wing fullbacks have been, tell you what, even if Miller isn't a keeper average of 50 plus, he's probably a guy you're never going to trade out just because why would you trade him out?
I agree. Yeah. I think Knights play 13 and 16 too, I believe. Yeah.
They don't play in round 10.
That's fine.
Yeah, so they don't play round 10, round 14, and round 19. Those are their buys.
Yeah, that's fine. So, I think Lockie Miller's someone you can hold basically until after Origin, to be honest. He might even be someone you hold all year, but yeah.
Especially when you look at the fact that he hasn't had too many tries for, what a fullback can do. Yeah.
Does Ponga coming back change anything in a negative way for him? Who knows? It'd take a bit of ball away from him. I don't know.
I mean, he's not often in those attacking sets. Tell you what is concerning is that in those first 2 games, average with Ponga 37.5, without Ponga 68.7 in the next game.
Yeah. Because I feel like Hastings obviously is the conductor, and they've had Gamble fill in for a bit, and he's just, a bit of mongrel. And, he's got. I like him as a player, to be honest with you, but I think Lockie Miller was doing the damage for the Knights whilst Ponga's been out.
Tell you what, once Ponga is back, I think do look at how his scoring changes. If Ponga's back and Miller has 3 bad weeks in a row, maybe you do look to trade him out.
Yeah. Although it would be fucking nice to hold him through 13 and 16 in that Origin period, though, which, yeah, you might have to just cop it. We'll see. But, yeah, in this encounter, the Knights, who are they missing anyone? Well, Ponga's still out. Apparently, he's going to be back in like a fortnight or so. I don't think
Gamble's
I think Gamble's out with a HIA. Crossland.
Kurt
I think that's the main change. Kurt Mann's back on the bench. Could switch to lock game day. Warriors have Tomato Martin back. Toya's still 50-50. I'm going to go the Warriors 1-12.
I'm going Knights. And then Easter Monday game. Tigers versus Eels.
Look.
We don't have to say, do we?
No. To be fair, though, I think it's a clear romping, but it has to, the Eels should hump, but there is, look.
They are the Eels.
They are the Eels, and they done it to them last year in this fixture. Honestly, if they don't win this game, they're probably going to go on one of the most, I guess, devastating losing streaks in all of the NRL era.
Probably.
It'll be something that the fans will want to forget, if it happens. But I think this is the game they have to win. If
you look at their schedule, they got Para, then they got a bye, then you got Manly Penrith. They have a easier game against the Dragons, but then they got Rabbitohs Cowboys.
Yeah, dude, God. I genuinely believe this has to be the game they get up for. They could go on a losing streak to the ages if they're not careful.
Yeah, no, they might start 0-12.
But they really better hope they do beat the bye. Their old coach said. But yeah, look, Eels humping 13+.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you there. And so that's going to end the Wafflecast, everyone. Enjoy the week of footy. Keep eating food, and keep consuming.
See you later.